Welcome to Kayla's Tale, the podcast that tells the inspiring story of a guide dog and her blind owner, Brad. Sit back and listen to a bond like no other.
Okay, so imagine navigating the world, but not through sight, through the companionship of a furry friend.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Brad, a 56-year-old who's been blind for 20 years, does every single day, thanks to Kayla, his extraordinary German Shepherd guide dog.
Right.
And we've got this proposed podcast script about their story.
Yeah.
And it is full of touching moments, but we're going to go way beyond that.
Yeah, it's easy to get swept up in the heartwarming stuff.
Right.
But I think what's really fascinating is how their partnership reveals the depth of human-animal bonds and the training that goes into creating that kind of bond.
Exactly. This isn't just a dog walking its owner.
Yeah.
Today, we are diving deep into the layers of communication, the trust, and the impact this bond has on someone like Brad, who had to rebuild his entire life after vision loss.
Yeah, and the script really emphasizes Kayla's beginnings, at the Guide Dog Training Center.
Right.
And it's not just any dog that can do this.
Right.
From puppyhood, Kayla was marked as special. Really intelligent, gentle nature. She even earned the nickname, a blessing wrapped in fur.
Oh, wow. That nickname already tells you that she was destined for something special.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about what kind of specific training goes into creating a guide dog.
Right.
Like what separates them from, say, a pet you'd train for basic obedience?
It's a rigorous process. They're not just teaching commands, they're really building a communication system that's based on mutual trust and understanding.
Wow.
It's kind of like a silent language where the dog learns to interpret really subtle cues from the handler, and the handler learns to listen to the dog's movements and their reactions.
So it's not just about the dog obeying commands.
No.
It's a two-way street. They're both learning how to read each other.
Precisely.
Wow.
And the script highlights this beautifully when Brad describes meeting Kayla for the first time.
Okay.
He says that he felt her before he saw her.
Wow.
And just knew she was the one.
Wow.
Like they already had this connection.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. You could feel the emotional impact of that encounter just reading it.
Yeah.
But let's step back for a second and consider Brad's perspective.
Okay.
Losing his vision in a car accident at 36
Yeah.
must have been incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
The script mentions how he felt robbed of his independence.
Right. And that's such a crucial point because vision loss isn't just a physical challenge.
Right.
It's emotional and psychological.
Uh-huh.
Imagine having to relearn how to navigate the world, how to interact with people, how to do the things you once took for granted.
Yeah, it's a whole life upheaval.
Yeah.
And that's where Kayla comes in, not just as a guide, but as a symbol of hope and a
Yeah.
source of empowerment.
The script mentions how Kayla helped Brad regain his confidence and zest for life.
Right.
But it's worth delving a little deeper into how exactly she did that.
Right.
It wasn't just about her leading him around. It was about that sense of partnership and the trust they built during training.
Okay, so how did their training emphasize this mutual trust and understanding?
Right.
What kind of techniques are used to create this bond?
Well, it's a delicate balance. They use positive reinforcement, of course.
Uh-huh.
But it goes beyond that. They teach the dog to problem solve, to make independent decisions when necessary, while still relying on their handler's guidance.
Wow.
It's about building confidence in both the dog and the handler.
So it sounds like guide dog training is as much about psychology as it is about teaching commands.
Yeah.
Like you're understanding the needs of both the dog and the handler
Yeah.
and creating a dynamic where they can truly rely on each other.
Absolutely. And this idea of reliance, it challenges our typical assumptions about independence.
Right.
We often think of independence as like doing everything on our own.
Uh-huh.
But in Brad's case, his independence is actually enhanced by his reliance on Kayla.
That is a really interesting point.
Yeah.
It's not about being self-sufficient in every single way.
Yeah.
It's about having the support and tools to live a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And for Brad, Kayla is that tool. An extension of his senses, allowing him to navigate the world confidently.
The script touches on Kayla's playful side, too.
Okay.
Like when she tries to chase a squirrel and ends up tangling Brad in her leash.
Oh.
But even these moments of chaos kind of highlight the complexity of their relationship.
As a reminder that Kayla is more than just a working dog.
Right.
She has her own personality, her own quirks.
Yeah.
And those shine through even when she's on duty.
And that's what makes their bond so special.
Right.
It's not just functional, it's emotional. They share moments of joy and laughter, which is crucial for anyone,
Yeah.
but especially someone dealing with the challenges of vision loss.
This makes me think about the scientific research on human-animal bonds.
Oh, yeah.
What have researchers found about the psychological and emotional benefits of these types of relationships?
Well, there's a growing body of evidence
Okay.
highlighting the positive effects. Studies have shown that interacting with animals can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, even boost our immune systems.
Wow.
Some theories suggest that it's related to the release of oxytocin,
Uh-huh.
which is sometimes called the love hormone,
Right.
when we interact with animals that we care about.
So it's not just anecdotal. There's actual science backing up the idea that animals are good for our well-being.
Exactly. And for people with disabilities,
Yeah.
service animals provide a whole other level of support. They offer a sense of security, companionship, and purpose that goes beyond the practical assistance they provide.
Right. The script mentions that Kayla has this effect on everyone she meets,
Yeah,
not just Brad.
right.
She's described as a furry ambassador of joy, brightening the days of strangers and neighbors alike.
It's like she has this innate ability to connect with people on a deeper level.
Ugh.
Some researchers believe that dogs in particular have evolved to be highly attuned to human emotions, which might explain their incredible ability to provide comfort and companionship.
Speaking of communication, I'm really intrigued by how Brad listens to Kayla.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on how they communicate beyond, like, basic commands?
Well, it's a fascinating system based on subtle cues and body language.
Uh-huh.
Brad has learned to interpret Kayla's movements, her pace,
Wow.
even the tension in her leash to understand what she's telling him about their surroundings.
So he's essentially learned a new language,
Yeah.
a tactile and kinesthetic way of experiencing the world through Kayla.
That's a great way to put it, and it highlights the adaptability of the human brain.
Yeah.
When one sense is diminished, others become heightened.
Right.
And in Brad's case, his sense of touch and his ability to interpret those subtle physical cues have become incredibly refined.
That's incredible, and it makes you realize how much we rely on our vision without even realizing it.
Yeah, it also underscores the importance of accessibility and inclusivity in our society. We need to create environments that are navigable for people with all kinds of disabilities.
Right.
And that includes recognizing the vital role that service animals play.
Absolutely. Service animals aren't just pets. They're highly trained partners.
Right.
Who enable people to live fuller, more independent lives.
Their presence challenges our preconceived notions about what it means to be disabled.
Yeah.
They help us to see beyond limitations and appreciate the diverse ways that humans can interact with the world.
And speaking of seeing beyond limitations, the script includes this really powerful metaphor
Oh, yeah.
where Brad calls Kayla his light in the darkness.
It's such a poignant image.
Yeah.
Kayla isn't just guiding him physically. She's illuminating his world emotionally and psychologically.
It speaks to the profound impact she's had on his life, not just as a guide, but as a companion.
Yeah.
A source of hope and a reminder that there's always light, even in the darkest of times. And that's a really powerful way to put it, that she's light in the darkness.
Yeah.
It really does encapsulate the depth of their bond. Kayla guides Brad physically, but she also brings this sense of joy and purpose to his life.
Right.
Something that goes beyond just the practical aspects.
It's a beautiful testament to the transformative power of these human-animal connections.
All right.
And it makes me think about all the ripple effects of these relationships. Kayla's impact extends beyond just Brad.
Right.
You know, she touches everyone she encounters.
Yeah, the script really highlights how Kayla just brightens the day of complete strangers and neighbors.
Yeah.
She's this furry ambassador of joy wherever she goes.
It's like her positive energy is contagious or something.
It really is. And it makes you think about the innate power of animals to connect with humans on an emotional level.
Yeah.
There's just something about their presence that makes us feel more present, more connected to the world around us.
Absolutely.
It's interesting to think about how Kayla's journey began. The script mentions how she quickly impressed trainers at the Guide Dog Center.
Yeah.
With her intelligence and her gentle nature.
Right.
They even nicknamed her a blessing wrapped in fur.
It's a very fitting nickname.
It really is. It suggests that even from a young age, she had these qualities that made her perfect for this demanding role.
Absolutely.
So this brings us to this behind-the-scenes world of guide dog training.
Okay.
What are some of the techniques and challenges involved in preparing a dog for this kind of work?
Well, it's an incredibly rigorous process.
Yeah.
And it's very selective. Not every dog has what it takes to be a guide dog.
Okay.
Trainers look for dogs with a calm demeanor,
Right.
obviously high intelligence,
Uh-huh.
and a strong desire to please.
So it's not just about teaching commands.
No.
It's about nurturing their natural instincts
Yeah.
and really shaping their behavior to meet the needs of their future partner.
Precisely. The training focuses on developing a deep level of communication and trust
Hmm.
between the dog and the handler. They use positive reinforcement, of course,
Right.
but it goes beyond that.
Okay.
They expose these dogs to all kinds of environments and situations to make sure that they can handle the challenges of navigating a really complex world.
It sounds like an incredibly demanding job, not just for the dogs, but for the trainers too,
Yeah,
who dedicate their time and expertise to creating these really life-changing partnerships.
absolutely. It's a labor of love. It requires tons of patience and dedication
Yeah.
and a deep understanding of canine behavior.
And we can't forget the breeders and the puppy raisers,
Of
who
course.
play such a crucial role in providing the foundation for a successful guide dog.
It really takes a village.
It does. It's a true team effort,
Yeah.
a network of people who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make these partnerships possible.
And their efforts have a ripple effect that extends way beyond the individuals that they serve.
Right.
Guide dogs not only enhance the lives of their partners,
Yeah.
but they also challenge how society views disability. They foster greater understanding and inclusivity.
Their presence in our communities reminds us to look beyond just limitations
Right.
and really appreciate the different ways that humans can navigate and experience the world.
And maybe Kayla and Brad's story
Yeah.
can inspire us to think about how we can contribute to making a more accessible and inclusive world for everyone.
Maybe we can volunteer at an animal shelter
Yeah.
or donate to organizations that train service animals,
Yeah,
or even just educate ourselves about the challenges faced by people with disabilities.
absolutely. Even small acts of kindness and awareness can make a huge difference.
Kayla and Brad's story is a testament to the power of love and loyalty and that incredible bond that can exist between humans and animals.
Uh-huh.
It reminds us that even in the face of adversity, there's always hope and joy
Yeah.
and the potential for really profound connection.
And it kind of leaves us with a question. How can we strive to be a little more like Kayla,
Right.
bringing light and joy to the world around us, one interaction at a time?
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into this heartwarming and inspiring story.
Yeah.
We hope their story has left you feeling uplifted and maybe even a little bit more connected to the wonderful world of animals.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep celebrating those amazing bonds that make life so rich and meaningful.